So I have run out of flour, which I anticipate many of you also have. It's quite unfortunate, so I went rummaging through my pantry to kind of see what else I have in here that I could use to create a bit of fun for myself, and I landed on baking soda and vinegar. So pretty much this means that I'm going to try and science today, which I have done, but specifically chemistry I haven't really touched since high school, and I'm kind of just wishing I still had a lab coat and some safety goggles. I debated suggesting that I call this solitary science, because I'm alone, but please don't do this alone. Make sure you have a buddy. Science should always be done in pairs. Well, at least when you're doing at-home recreational science. So baking soda is a base and vinegar is a diluted acid. When you mix the two together, you get a pretty quick reaction, and this is actually the hydrogen in the vinegar reacting with the bicarbonate baking soda. So as a result of that reaction, you end up with two products. The first is carbonic acid. You don't really get to keep it for long. It decomposes quickly and creates a second reaction that results in carbon dioxide. So if you were to do this kind of reaction in a bottle and stick a balloon over top, the balloon would inflate as the carbon dioxide escapes off of the surface of your mixture. The second product is called sodium acetate, and it is what we are going to be working with today. Equipment-wise, you are going to want a pot, some measuring spoons, a measuring cup, and some type of clear container. It can be a jar, it can be a cup, anything that's see-through that you can cover with something, whether it be a lid or saran wrap or cloth with an elastic band. I'm going to start by measuring out 4 cups of vinegar. And pour those 4 cups into your pot. Next, we are going to add our baking soda. We're going to do 4 tablespoons. But the key is you want to do this really slowly. The last thing anyone needs is a giant mess in their kitchen from this reaction happening all over their counter and overflowing from their pots. Nice and easy. Our main reaction has happened. The liquid that we are left with here is a mixture of water and sodium acetate. Sodium acetate is actually pretty common. A lot of companies use it to flavor chips. So if you've ever had salt and vinegar chips, then you've probably eaten sodium acetate. But this one is pretty diluted. So what we're going to do is heat it to boil off some of the water and make the whole thing more concentrated. Ready? Gonna do some science today. Which letter do we need? It's gonna be this one. Alright. Alright, so we are gonna heat this up, allow it to boil off. If you've got a fan, might want to turn it on. That vinegar smell is not the most pleasant for a kitchen. This involves a lot of waiting. Okay, so you are going to boil down the mixture on medium heat and do this for about an hour until the amount that you have is 1 cup or less. When you're done, put it into your container and seal it up nice and tight. You want to prevent any further evaporation from occurring. And once you're done, you're going to pop this into the freezer for approximately 20 minutes. Freezer is going to help supercool the liquid. That is bringing down the sodium acetate to a temperature where it would normally be solid. However, because there's still some residual water in that mixture, it's going to keep anything from crystallizing on the inside of your jar. Now, if you take a look in my pot, you will see some white substance both sticking to the sides and along the bottom. This is actually sodium acetate, which has crystallized, and I'm going to collect as much of it as I can. It's going to be like a seed for my next reaction. Alright, so I've collected it, scraped off as much as I could, and put it into the center of my Pyrex here. It's got a nice flat bottom, which will be perfect for the end result of our experiment. Okay, so it has been 20 minutes, and I'm really hoping that this works. So, let's see. Okay, don't want to agitate it. Alright, ooh, still warm. You know, this is what the internet told me to do, so when has the internet ever steered me wrong? Ignore my disastrous kitchen. Thank you. Okay, so it didn't work, but I have been told that this is a very forgiving science experiment. So I'm going to leave it in the freezer for a little longer, get it a little colder, and see what happens.
Well, it works. I just didn't pour it fast enough. Mm.
Okay, so conclusions are that it works, but building an Elsa Ice Palace is a little harder than it looks. I'm probably just going to leave that to Elsa in the future. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you give this a shot, I hope it works out for you too.